Think I'm live. On. We always gotta. we always. Live is always a mess. Okay, perfect. I'm live. Hello, is anybody there? Glow getters, are you there? Is anybody here? Say hi in the chat. We are talking about my newest video. You make yourself an easy target. Okay, so I'm gonna wait a couple more times until more people get in here. If you're just joining, please say hi to chat. Hey y'all, say hi in the chat. We got 4 people in here so far. Say hi in the chat, y'all. How y'all doing? How was your Easter? Who's in here? Let me see. We are discussing my newest video. You make yourself an easy target. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Hi. Try this to Ruth. I'll just call you Ruth. Hey girls, how y'all doing? How was your Easter? How was your weekend? Hope everyone's doing well. Because we are ready to get into some things. Okay. All right. So let's talk about let's talk about my newest video. I hope you guys were all able to watch it and you have your notes ready for us to discuss. Okay. So you make yourself an easy target. I wanted to create this video because yes. You know, there's so many toxic people out there, y'all. There's narcissists, sociopaths, a bunch of, even if they're not a cluster B person, like you don't have to be cluster B to be a toxic person. I need to make that clear. Okay. So my thing about this was there's a lot of toxic people out there. But if you find yourself continuously being entangled in any type of relationship with these types of people, so maybe you just keep dating the same type of man over and over, right? Or you just keep ending up with the same type of friend over and over and over again. Or you just come to battle with these same types of people with the same type of characteristics all the time. It means that there's something that you're either doing or not doing that is enabling them. That is like you're able to tolerate them. Okay. And I wanted to let y'all know what those traits are. What are you doing or not doing that is allowing you to enable them? Okay. So, all right, let me read the chat. So excited. Okay, perfect. I hope you like the video. Lisa says the weekend was good. Listen to about 70% of the new video. Okay, that's fine. We're going to discuss it anyway. Okay, so the first trait that I wanted to talk about was image management, but we're not going to spend that long on this because I think I've talked about this in the past, like 3 lives or something like that. But image management, you care so much about what people think of you. You really care for people to know that you're a nice person, and any deviation from that image makes you a little uncomfortable. That's not a good thing. Okay. So the examples that I gave in the video, like, do you go down, question for you guys, when you are walking down the street, do you have a smile plastered on your face? Or when you see somebody looking at you, even if they're mean mugging you, you automatically like plaster a smile on your face, and as soon as you leave, like, you drop it back because you want to like reassure them that you're safe, that you're nice. Do you guys do that? Let me see. Like, is it automatic for you? I want to know. Because part of image management is just like, you just need people to know that you're nice. Like, you need people to know that you're a safe one, or you're not one of them. You're actually really nice and you're safe. And a lot of times it's just about trying to avoid conflict and trying to avoid rejection and conflict. Okay, Lisa says the part about smiling to people even when you walk past. Never even thought about it like that. Yeah, like it's like automatic thing, right? I mean, there are some people that just do it because like it's just like somebody's looking at you, but some people do it as like an automatic reaction to like to manage your image. Like, no, no, I'm nice. I'm not me mugging you. I'm not a B word. Like, I'm nice. Right. So that's all part of it. So the little things that you don't even notice is happening. Yeah. All of that gets taken into consideration with a predator type personality, because to them it's like, okay, this person, like, because most people do not smile randomly on the street to people. Okay. So when you do that, they automatically know, like, this person is like, needs to prove that you're a nice person. Okay. Lorraine says, don't fear being nice to others, ladies. No, I'm not saying you should fear being nice to other people. That's not the message at all. So I'm sorry if you guys think that's the message. That's not the message at all. The message is that when your reactions have a source of trying to avoid conflict or rejection, or just trying to prove so badly to people that you're nice and harmless, predator type personalities kind of target you immediately. Okay. Ruth says, love the video, especially the part where you said that people don't really care when you complain a lot. Yeah, we'll get into that. Naomi says, you let go of that nice-ish when you realize everyone lives with themselves, not you. Yes. Lisa says, or think people are mean when people don't smile at you. Yeah. Also, when you stop performing and managing your image, you also start to care less when people are not super like performing niceness for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't take it as personally. A lot of times when you do manage your image, you get butthurt when people don't manage their image for you, because you're like, wait, what? Like, what? I will do it. I will perform for you. I'll be do this and that for you. So you can get your feelings hurt too. So Lorraine, it's not about fearing being nice to people. I'm still nice to people in real life. You can still be nice to people in real life. You just have to make sure that it's coming from a good source, not a source of trying to appear harmless to avoid rejection or conflict. Okay, I hope I made myself clear with that. Okay, so I don't want to talk about the image management thing so much, because we've already talked about it a couple of times. I'm not doing it again. But let's move on to number 2, self-doubt and indecisiveness. Okay, so this is a really important part, because controlling type personalities, predator type personalities, they can tell when you have a lot of self-doubt. Because like, let's say like you meet a new friend or something, right? And you wanna go out and do something or whatever, and you just don't have like, you just can't take control of the situation. Like, I'm not saying you have to be controlling, but you just can't, like, you keep waiting for them to like pick something. You keep like, you never take the lead, or like if you do take the lead, you're just so anxious about it, or like every 2 minutes you like, oh well, if you don't want to go, it's okay. Or oh, I think it was here, but I don't know. Like, you just seem really like unsure of yourself. You have a lot of self-doubt, and you don't really feel comfortable taking the lead, or you don't feel comfortable making decisions, or they they do not play about that. They pick up on little things like that, because to them it's like, oh, this person needs a leader. This person needs someone that can take control. This person needs me. I will take control of you. I will control your whole life, because you seem really indecisive, and you have a lot of self-doubt. And when you have a lot of self-doubt, you tend to be a little insecure. And when you're a little insecure, you're way easier to control than somebody who does not have self-doubt and who is decisive. And even if you're not decisive, you don't have to know all the answers. Have some confidence in yourself. Like, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So you're not incompetent for making mistakes. But if you always look to somebody else to like validate you or take the lead or take control, or like you're just really like, you don't really trust yourself and your judgment, you are a huge target for predator type personalities, because they know they can take easy control of you because you're not confident in yourself, right? Because a lot of times when you are this way too, like, you tend to attract people that are very, very controlling, because you tend to give them the control, because you just don't want to deal with the headache of like having to figure things out, or things just being, it all being on you. You having to control things, it can cause you a lot of anxiety, and you just rather give it to somebody else to do it. Like, you know what, you just do it and I'll just follow. Like, you're easy to be put into submission. Like, you submit easily. And this is not like a bad thing if it's like a romantic relationship with a man, and like sometimes you let him lead, right? That's not always a bad thing. But just in general in life, you have to build your self-assurance and learn to trust yourself, because when you don't, somebody will come into your life and they will start to manage you and control you, because you are not, you don't trust yourself. You don't trust your own judgment, and you can't lead yourself. You're so indecisive about everything in your life, and you always look to others to lead, because it takes anxiety off of you. Everybody has some type of anxiety, but you have to learn to work with it, because if not, again, you're going to find these really controlling personalities and you let them take the lead because it's just more comfortable for you. And you're also, when you're indecisive and have a lot of self-doubt, you tend to be afraid of making mistakes. Guys, we all make mistakes. It's a part of human life. We all make mistakes. And the more pressure you put on yourself, okay, Lisa says, being super laid back, go with the flow personality can be seen as passive for predators, unfortunately. Yes. And I'm not saying you have to always be like super controlling and always be like type A type personalities, right? I'm not talking about that. Like, you can let somebody else take the lead sometimes. You don't have to be like an authoritarian and everything goes your way. But when you come off as very passive and you just let other people make decisions in everything in your life, you will be the perfect target for a predator type personality, unfortunately. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Because like, even when I research some things about like how psychopaths or narcissists or whoever type of personality, their supply selection or their targets, it's like this person just really needed a leader. This person seemed really passive, and it's like they will give you the control because they don't want to, they don't want to deal with all of the headache, right? So sometimes that's okay. But just in your life in general, you have to learn to be decisive and trust yourself, okay? Because these personality types, they want to be like the God in your life. Like, they love to play God in your life. They love to play like authoritarian. Like, they want to own you, basically. Like, they want you to be their property, right? And the way they do that in the beginning, a lot of the times, is just making all the decisions, taking control of everything and making all the decisions. And if you're a person who gives up any semblance of control in your life for somebody else to do it, because you don't want to deal with the headache or the anxiety, or you're indecisive, or you don't trust yourself, that's a perfect match. Yep. Okay. Okay. Sama, I'm just going to call you Sama. Hi, Sama. Welcome to the chat. She says, yes, I recognize I struggle with indecisiveness, always unsure and second guessing myself. People have definitely taken advantage of me because of it. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, guys. So it's not about, saying like, don't be nice, or don't like ever let anybody ever take control of like, I don't know, some plans or something. That's fine. But just in general in your life, learn to be decisive and learn to trust your own judgment. Okay. Okay, Sama says, I try to always make an opinion about everything to combat my indecision. Yes, that's good. You can do like a pros and cons sheet or just like a SWOT analysis or whatever in your head, you know? Okay, Ruth says, wait, everyone deals with anxiety. Yes, I mean, some people don't have any anxiety at all. And usually these are like psychopaths. They don't feel any emotions. They don't have anxiety really. But for the most part, every normal, healthy human, you might be anxious once in a while. Like, not everybody has anxiety disorders. That's different. You know, some people have generalized anxiety disorders. But for the most part, every normal human have some type of anxiety about something. Like maybe you go into present, you know, to your work or something. You might have just a little bit of jitter. You know, you might be a little bit anxious. That's normal. Okay. But if you have chronic indecision, chronic self-doubt, um, you will be the perfect target for these types of people. They are looking for somebody like you that they can make. They want to be the god of your life. They want to be like they want you to completely depend on them and give them control. So if you do it naturally, if you just give up your control all the time to any and everybody because you don't trust yourself, you're going to be prey. Unfortunately, you're going to be prey. Like you are like the perfect target. Okay, because you allow them to play God in your life. And you should never let anybody else play God in your life except for God. Okay. All right. And also, when you have a lot of self-doubt and indecisiveness, you also, tell me if I'm wrong, you also tend to not trust your own intuition. Am I wrong or right, y'all? If you deal with chronic self-doubt and indecisiveness, do you also dismiss your intuition a lot of time? Or maybe you used to in the past? I bet you have. You probably get an intuitive feeling about somebody, but then you just dismiss it because you don't trust yourself. You be like, oh, I'm being crazy. Do you trust your intuition? If you have self-doubt and you have trouble with indecisiveness, do you trust your intuition? 9 times out of 10, you don't. And when you don't trust your intuition, because a lot of times as humans, we just have this sixth sense. When you meet somebody that's a predator or like just something is off about them, you could tell this person is not like right. Something tells you, like your stomach might knot up a little bit. You might get some butterflies or something something is just telling you like, okay, this person, there's something wrong with them. Like, but if you struggle with self-trust, right? You will ignore that intuition because you don't trust your own intuition. And not trusting your intuition, your God-given intuition to protect yourself, that's very dangerous. You are the perfect target for a predator type personality. Okay? Okay, Sama says, yes, I've ignored my intuition and every time I regretted it. Yes. And you know what? I really do have really good intuition, but again, I used to just dismiss it in the past. I'd be like, oh, I'm being crazy. I'm being paranoid. I'm being what's the word? I'm just like, you don't trust yourself. You just be like, oh, maybe I'm just being crazy, you know? So if you struggle with self-doubt and indecisiveness, you most likely also do not trust your intuition. So you need to learn to start trusting yourself by starting to make your own decisions and just going with the flow. You might make a mistake here. You might, choose this and it's wrong, and that's okay. The more you practice making mistakes, the better you will get at trusting yourself. Okay, Ruth says, I got butterflies with an X once. I thought it was nerves. I didn't think intuition. Think intuition. Yeah. Yeah. So when you don't have self-trust, you are not going to trust your intuition, which is like your body's alarm telling you like, hey, this person, there's something wrong with them. You should leave. Okay, Lisa says, my intuition has never led me astray. Yes. Yes. Like when I get my like intuitive downloads or whatever, like, or just like I just get a feeling and I don't dismiss it, I always turn out to be right. I always turn out to be right. It's only when I doubt myself that I end up like in these horrible situations with horrible people, because I knew already that there was something wrong with this person, but I dismissed it, right? So you need to work on your self-trust. You need to start making your own decisions. Stop always looking to for everybody else to validate you or just take the lead all the time. Um, yeah, just stop doing that. Learn to make your own decisions. Learn to go places by yourself. Learn to figure out what you like, what you don't like. Don't always look to other people for what you need to do. You know what I mean? Okay, NX. Okay, can you add your name to your chats so that I know what to call you instead of by your username? But I'm just gonna call you NX. Okay, NX says, whenever I ignore my intuition, there's always regret. Yes. Every time I've ignored my intuition, I've always regretted it because I knew I was right. I knew I was right. I knew there was something wrong with this person, but I just did not trust myself enough to just walk away. Then they always bite me in the ass, right? So learn to start making your own decisions. Learn to figure out things that you like. And you guys, a good way to do this is to learn to date yourself. Learn to date yourself. Okay. And if you need help with that, I have my book, The Glow Getter Guide. It's literally for things like this, trying to figure out who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what your boundaries are, what you will accept, what you will not accept. Like, you need to start dating yourself. Like, if I ask you, you know how like when people ask you, so tell me about yourself, and your mind goes blank? Tell me about yourself. What do you like? What do you not like? Why do you always need to give somebody else the control? Because you don't want to like be in control of the situation because you're so scared you're going to make a mistake, or they're not going to like it. They're not going to approve of you. Learn to figure out yourself. What do you like? Take yourself out on dates. Trust what you want to do. Okay? And you're going to make mistakes. It's human. Once in a while, you will make a mistake. That's okay. Stop being afraid to make mistakes. Literally, everybody on the planet make mistakes. Okay? Okay, Ruth says, learn to date yourself. Love it. Yeah. D. Clark. Hey, D. Clark. Thanks for joining the chat. She said, hello, everyone. I have been dating myself and I am loving it. Yes. Learn to know yourself, because once you know yourself and you know what you like, what you don't like, you start just becoming really sure of yourself. And when you're really sure of yourself, you do not allow people to control you. You do not allow people to play with you. Like, you just don't allow you will not be an easy target for people like this. Okay. Okay. Naomi says the issue for me is intuition versus anxiety. Okay. With intuition, it's not really like butterflies. It's just like a feeling you have. Anxiety is usually like butterflies and nerves. Okay, D. Clark says, I think I'm loving to date myself too much. Ooh, girl. What do you mean by that? Ooh. What's that supposed to mean? Okay, Lisa says, I love solo days. So fun. Yeah, when you do a lot of solo days, you really get to learn about a lot about yourself and who you are as a person. And you learn to know exactly what you like, what you don't like, and what you will not accept from people, because you will start to develop standards. Like, hey, I take myself here. This is like the standard for me. This is what I always do for myself. So if I go on a date, like, I'm not going to take any less than this, right? This is how I talk to myself. This is how I calm myself. So when you're angry with me or we have an argument, you can't call me out my name, because I don't talk to myself like that, right? Learning to date yourself will really help you in learning how to spot dangerous people, because you don't treat yourself terribly. So you're not going to let other people treat you terribly, right? Because, like, for example, if you're a person who's really hard on yourself, and if let's say you make a mistake and you just call yourself all types of stupid, dumb, whatever, and you just like punish yourself with shame, When you date somebody else, or when you find another friend or something, and they talk like that to you, you're not going to budge. Why? Because you talk to yourself like that. That's the standard that you set for yourself. You made it okay. You talk to yourself like that, so you allow other people to talk to you like that, right? And the thing is, like, I heard this quote. I saw this quote one time on social media. It says, if people treat you just as much as you treat yourself, you're not going to leave them. But if they treat you worse than you treat yourself, then you are going to leave. So if you allow somebody to call, like if you call yourself stupid and dumb and somebody else call you stupid and dumb, most of the time you're not going to leave them, because that's how you talk to yourself. But if they started like berating you and like embarrassing you and whatever, you will probably leave, because you don't treat yourself that way. Like, it went too far, right? So there's limits. So the nicer you treat yourself, the less BS you will take from people, because you don't treat yourself like that. Okay. All right. Candy Craze. Hi, Candy Craze. It's my first time seeing you in a live. Thank you for joining. D. Clark says, I'm already an introvert, so dating myself makes me not even want to date anyone anymore. Oh, okay. I get that. I get that. Sama says, so true. Don't deprecate, especially in front of other people. Yes. When you talk really bad about yourself, or you try to make yourself the butt of the joke all the time to make other people feel comfortable, or to make yourself feel comfortable, other people will not respect you because you don't respect yourself. Okay. Pool can play says, oh, hi. She's my first member. Hi, Pool can play. Hi. Thanks for becoming a member. She says, concerning the subject, a lot of the things you listed off, I see in myself. One thing you said is, just because you lack boundaries, that doesn't mean others will. Yes, we'll talk about that. Performing niceties does make my feelings get hurt easily, because I expect it back too. Yes, that's the thing. That's the thing. When you lack boundaries, you just expect other people to also lack boundaries, because you don't have any. And then you get butthurt when other people establish their boundaries with you, because you're like, well, I would have done that. I would have allowed that. Why wouldn't she? She respects herself. That's why she won't. Right? And it hurts learning that lesson, but that's exactly what you need to learn in order to respect yourself and get some boundaries. Right? Okay, Candy Crate says, I love your channel. First time catching you live. Thank you so much. Thanks for supporting. Okay, Puka Play says, I love this topic. Happy to be a subscriber. Yes, thank you so much for becoming a member. D. Clark says, so true. Yep. Okay, y'all. So we're going to move on to point number 3, which is anxiety. We just talked a little bit about anxiety. And you guys, this is not to get anyone offended, because I have had anxiety before. I was actually diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I don't have it anymore, but at one point I did have it. So this is not to like ish on people that with anxiety. It's actually to help you. Okay. All right. So number 3 is anxiety. So this point basically was showing you how acting out on your anxious thoughts, or just like your anxiety, lets predators know that you will be easy prey. So let's say you're very anxious in like social settings, right? Let's say like you walk into a classroom and you, first of all, you walk with your head held down, because you don't want other people to notice you, because you're too anxious to like speak to anybody, right? So you don't talk to anybody, you walk with your head down. Already they know, a predator type personality knows, this person is not really confident. I wonder why, right? Then you sit, instead of sitting with the group, you go and sit all the way in the corner where nobody can talk to you, because you're too anxious to talk to anybody, right? So you want to be alone, you want to just be by yourself, and you want to put your head down, not be noticed, right? And then I'm just giving examples here, okay? So just those behaviors, just those mannerisms that you have as an anxious person, it sends a message to that predator type personality, right? That's why, like, in the hood or whatever, when you're growing up, like, your mom will yell at you, like, to keep your head up, walk fast, like, have eye contact, because it keeps away the predators, because they don't think that you are an easy target, right? So that's the same kind of thing here. Like, when you have those body languages of, like, you don't want to cause any trouble. You don't want to be noticed. You don't want to cause any trouble. You just want to, like, hide and just be by yourself, and whatever. It sends a message, right? That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Yes, anybody can have anxiety. And like I said, I've had it before, right? I don't have it anymore, but I've had it in the past before for, like, I don't know, like 2 years or something. And like, you don't know it, but it's sending a message out there. Socially, it's sending a message. It's sending the message that this person is not confident. It seems to be very fearful, and it might be easy to dominate them. That's the message that it's sending. So, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you, but it does mean that you do need to work on your anxiety. And what has really helped me with my anxiety was, one, journaling, and two, regulating my nervous system. And I teach you how to do that in the course, the No One Cares course, y'all. But basically, if you guys didn't know, a lot of your anxiety and anxiety type thoughts and behaviors, anxiety is a result of you not finishing your survival survival mechanism. So as humans, as mammals, we have our survival mechanism is fight or flight. So every time you don't fight or flight, that energy, that stored survival energy, does not have anywhere to go. So now it's just stuck in your body, in your mind and your nervous system, and also in your body. Okay? Well, Nelly Swan, you can be alone. You just don't have to look like prey. Because there are some people that come alone, stood alone, and nobody bothers them because they don't look like they play. Right? But what I'm saying is, like, anxiety, if you have a lot of anxiety, it is unfinished survival energy. Your survival energy is fight or flight. So if you have come into contact with a lot of, like, threats, maybe somebody is, like, coming at you crazy, or somebody's yelling at you, or, like, maybe you got bullied or something, and you never fought for yourself, and you were never able to leave that environment, all that survival energy is still stuck in your body. It didn't go anywhere. So when it gets stored, it gets stored as anxiety. You will notice that once you start healing and once you start processing all these memories and all your emotions, a lot of your anxiety will go away. It will go away because it's no longer stuck in your body. Because a lot of times, some people that have anxiety, they can't even relax. You don't understand why you can't even relax, because you're not presently in a harmful situation. You're not faced with a threat, but you can't relax. You can't sleep. You can't, when you sit, you keep shaking. It's because your body is still stuck in your past threats that you never got to fight or flee from. Did you guys know that? I go into this deeply in the course, y'all, the No One Cares course. But your anxiety is stored survival energy that never got to finish. Okay? And I teach you how to finish it in the No One Cares course. Okay? All right. D. Clark says, I had anxiety as well in the past. I don't have it anymore. Yeah. Nelly Swan says, yes, I'm always dressed up and dolled up. That helps usually. Yeah. So you guys, and anxiety is not all about being alone, right? Sometimes you can be in a group of people and they can tell that you are anxious, because you just maybe you stutter a lot, or maybe, like, you're always bouncing because you just seem, like, very uncomfortable. All of that sends a message. Okay? All of that sends a message. How you show up matters, because these predator type personalities, I'm telling you, they're literally like the animal predators in the wild. They're literally always looking for the weakest link. Now, anxiety does not make you weak as a person, but to a predator type personality, they will target you first before they target somebody else because they think that you might be easier to overpower. Okay? Ruth says, I agree with Nellie Swan. How you show up matters. Yes, yes, it does. Because you can, like I said about the alone thing, it's not always about just being alone. Because somebody can be walking alone, eating alone, studying alone, and nobody will mess with them because they just don't give prey. Okay? Okay, D. Clark says, I have the No One Cares course. It is awesome. Great job. Oh, thank you so much, you guys. This is our first ever testimonial. Thank you. That is so sweet. That is so, so sweet. Thank you guys so much. That's what I wanted. I wanted to help people, like how I was able to like recover. I wanted to help other people. So I'm so glad that the course helped you. This is my first review. This is my very first review. So thank y'all. Thank you guys. Okay. All right. Lisa says, I noticed with myself that my throat chakra was closed off, but I found where everything that I suppressed came up. Okay. But I found where everything that I suppressed came up all at once. Like it was somehow all unplugged. Not sure what that's called. Yeah. Yeah. That's your throat chakra, opening up. And your throat chakra is around where your thyroid is. That's why when you don't get to heal all of that, sometimes you might end up with a thyroid autoimmune issue. That's your communication pathways are up there. So it's a lot that goes into this, guys, and I talk about all of that in the course. I don't play in the course. You guys, I wonder if I can pin a comment in here for anybody that's interested in the course. I'm gonna paste it in the chat right there. See if I can pin it. Can I pin this chat? Okay. Yeah, pin message. Okay. All right. Anna B. Hi, Anna B. Welcome to the chat. She says, predators always come up straight up to me in any bar or anywhere. I'm very anxious always, and I'm neurodivergent. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being neurodivergent. I'm neurodivergent. I have ADHD. Okay. Also, anxiety can be healed. Okay. And also, predator type personalities, they might try you. Just because you don't look like prey does not mean that they won't try you. For the most part, they will try everybody. They need to get their fix, right? But they will target you first if you look weaker than everybody else. They will target you first because it might be easier for them, right? So that's why they might do that. D. Clark says, you're welcome, is transformational. Yes, thank you so much. Listen to the lady, okay? Yes. He says, I'm neurodivergent as well. Yes, neurodivergent baddies. Okay. So that's the anxiety part that I wanted to talk about, okay? Because when you're anxious, you're constantly trying to be harmless, which is not, being harmless is not a bad thing, but you're trying to seem harmless because you're trying to control everything so that things do not go outside of your control. So you're always like watching people's moods, seeing if you offended somebody, if what you said was embarrassing, did I say the right thing, did I not? So that also goes hand in hand with the self-doubt thing, because like if you have anxiety, you're going to have a lot of self-doubt naturally. So you're always, trying to basically not be found out, or just you're trying to keep yourself safe, which is understandable, but people do pick up on that. But you guys, anxiety can be healed. Okay. If you have like anxiety disorder, because sometimes like we can all be anxious once in a while, but if you have like a disorder, we have a lot of really strong anxious traits, that can be healed. Okay. It's not the end of the world. It can be healed. Okay, Anna B says, I have ADHD and a bit autistic too. I dress well and try to have a strong body language. Yes, do everything you can to let them know that you're not an easy target. Okay. Okay, Ruth says, being pretty also makes you the first target. Yes, because the thing is, like, for example, one of the traits of narcissism, of NPD, is one, they're envious of others. They're envious of others, or they think others are envious of them. So if you are, and they live in a false reality, right? Where they think they're the most superior, they're the best everywhere. So if they see you and you're way prettier than them, you are messing up that reality for them. So now they have to target you and eliminate you immediately. So if they will target you, definitely, okay, they need to get access to the target to eliminate you, okay, tear you down. Okay. Anna B says, but they always still find me. Like, you guys, for the most part, they try everybody. They just go first to the person that they think will be easiest. Okay. But for the most part, these people, they need supply, they need a target, they need somebody to take advantage of. So if they can't get somebody else, they will try you. For the most part, they will try anybody that they think they can get their needs met with. But they will try you first, they will target you first if you seem easier to overpower. Okay? Okay, D. Clark says, if you're empathetic without strong boundaries, you will be a target as well. Yes, yes, we'll talk about that later, about lack of boundaries later. Um, So yeah, in the video I said when you're anxious, you feel the need to take responsibility for other people's emotions. If someone in the room is unhappy, your nervous system registers it as your problem to fix. If there is tension, you feel compelled to resolve it. So that's the thing with being anxious. You feel the need, you feel responsible for people's bad emotions or bad moods, even if it's not your fault. And predator type personalities can pick up on this because now it's easy to manipulate you. All they have to do is elicit strong reactions, strong emotions, and you will quickly submit to try to fix it. They know this. They can tell. They can tell. They're very good with these picking the perfect prey. Okay. And when you're anxious, also, it's easy to make you fearful because you're already like on the verge of being fearful. But they can use fear and aggression and threats and yelling and trying to overpower you to get you to submit and get what they want. Okay. Okay, Nellie Swan. Hi, Nellie Swan. I missed you, girl. Hope you had a good Easter. Okay, she says, I've been seeing a lot of people going on this trend saying I'm a narc, I'm an avoidant. It's getting a little easier. It's getting a little easier. Yeah? Yeah. The more you learn about these types of people, the easier it will be for you to deal with them because they're not going away, guys. I told you guys in the video, these types of people are everywhere. Okay, they're in your school, your class, your church, your hobby group, your friend group, whatever. These types of people are everywhere. So you're not going to be able to avoid them forever, but you can learn how to deal with them and escape their whatever their toxic personality traits are. Okay. Okay, D. Clark says, I agree with Ruth. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So that was the part about being anxious that I wanted to talk about. Okay, so it's not to say that if you're an anxious person, like, oh, you're this or you're that. I've been anxious before. A lot of people in here have been anxious before. Anxiety can be healed. Okay, and I teach you how to do that in the course. All right. Okay, Nellie Swan said, I meant that they probably say it out loud, so it's getting easier to avoid them. Yeah, that's good. Okay, number 4 is you prefer immediate gratification over delayed but possibly greater gratification. Ooh, I wonder if this resonated with anybody in here because this is something that we really need to address. Do you always go for immediate gratification over delayed but possibly greater gratification? The thing is that when you have this trait, right, you tend to be very comfortable in uncomfortable situations, right? Like, let's say you have a really toxic friend, or maybe like a toxic person approaches you, right? And they want friendship, but we know it's not friendship. Like, they just want somebody to use or somebody to dominate or whatever. Maybe like you're new to like a social setting or something, and it's the first person that approached you, right? And you can tell there's something off with them, but they approach you first, they collected your number, they asked to hang out or whatever. And you, because you're new or something, or you just feel like, oh, well, this person approached me, so it makes it easier for me. Instead of you like waiting to like get to know other people yourself, or like just meet other people and just like try to make your own decisions. You let this person kind of take take control, and they're able to like isolate you to themselves. And like you probably don't mind because it's like it's easier, like they seem to like me, so like I'm just not gonna wait, I'm just gonna be friends with her because she already proved that she likes me, and whatever, right? Because it's easier. Like you prefer immediate gratification. It's like, okay, I'm new here, I don't want to be alone, so like she approached me first, so I guess we could be friends. When you know, when your intuition is telling you there's something wrong with this girl, or just they did something really weird and diabolical, but it's like they keep approaching you, so you just rather just like go with them because it seems like they really like you and you don't want to be alone, instead of waiting and getting to know other people, familiarize yourself with other people so that you don't get stuck with this person, right? But I can even give an example about with dating. Like a guy, clearly a narcissist, approaches you, love bombing you, and instead of you like taking your time to get to know other guys, going on dates, you just feel like, well, this person seems to really like me, so I'm not going to take my time. I don't want to be lonely. They just laid it on thick, so I'm just gonna give up dating other people and just like rush into this relationship, right? So those are examples. You have to let go of always wanting immediate gratification. Learn to delay gratification. Learn to take your time and not be desperate, and not just go with the first thing that comes just because it's here. Okay. Okay, Anna B says, first person approaching is always predator trying to use me for something, and yes, I find it easy. So true. Yeah, like I told you guys, I think I've told you guys in some of my old videos, my social strategy videos, when you're new in the setting, usually the first person to try to like approach you and whatever, 9 times out of 10, they're always full of it. They're always full of it. So you have to take your time. They try to get in quick and first before anybody else can get to you. And once they get to you, they try to block anybody else from having access to you, or trying to destroy your image to everybody else so they don't like you and you can be isolated to them. Okay. All right. And Abi said true. Hannah Q. Oh, just Hannah, right. Hi, Hannah girl. How was your Easter? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining the live. Okay, Anna B said it is easy and flattering. Yeah, you don't want something that's just so easy, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to end in tears and lessons. Okay, let go of immediate gratification and go for delayed but better gratification. Okay, D. Clark says, I used to do that and ended up with a narc demon every single time. Yes, yes, you have to take your time. You have to take your time. Do not let them rush you into anything, and do not be so desperate that you settle for the first thing that you get, and just manage it. Okay? All right, Sama says, I have been like that in romantic relationships for sure. In friendships, when I have no other allies around me, I'll be quick to accept someone I'll probably otherwise avoid. Yes, that's the thing. Just like not wanting to be alone. Like you have to learn how to be alone, guys. Because if you don't, you're going to end up with some really horrible people. You're going to end up with some really, really horrible people, and they're going to teach you some lessons. Okay? So stop always chasing that relief, and learn to take your time and vet people. Because the most toxic ones, they be the first ones to approach you, and they lay it on thick, and they try to take your time and monopolize you. Do not let them. Okay? All right, Nellie Swan says, it's reassuring to know anxiety can be healed. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Okay. Lisa says, so true. Yeah, you guys, toxic personalities, they're very bold. They're very bold. They're very bold. They be the first ones. They don't have an internal stop signal. So for them, it's like, let me get my hands on this right quick. And if you don't have the proper boundaries and intuition, you're going to allow them in because they're the first ones and they're the most persistent. So don't settle for the first person, the first situation that you get. Okay, delay and vet and filter out. Okay. Sama says very true. Yes. Yes. So let me read a chapter from the notes right here, real quick. So I said in the video, okay, you become an expert at making the best of bad situations, finding the small good things in deeply unhealthy dynamics and clinging on to them for dear life. Okay. And convincing yourself that what you have is enough. It's at least better than nothing, right? And that becomes your normal. That is a very dangerous mindset to have. Trying to manage what you have instead of trying to go out there and do better, right? And you can apply this to anywhere in your life. You can apply this to your dating, friendship, career. You don't always just want to go for the most easiest thing that you can get because you're not vetting, you're not taking your time. You go for the first job that was offered to you, and you take it because you're so desperate and you get it, and it's a very toxic workplace. But they wanted to hire you on the spot. Side note, if they want to hire you on the spot and want you to start like the same week, red flag. Um, Anna B says, I often go from love bombing or friend bombing and then to no boundary trauma bonding and then go to being super close, talking every day, and then they want to destroy me sooner or later. That's the thing, guys. That's the cycle. These predator type personalities, they move very fast. That's why they love bomb you, friendship bomb you. They move very fast because when they move fast, you don't get to see the red flags. They get to take control of you a lot easier, and it burns out as soon as they started it because it was never real. Okay, it's a tactic, it's a strategy. All right. Lisa says it'll make you go back to toxic people because you don't want to be alone, and that's dangerous. Yes, you have to learn how to be alone. Okay, and how to enjoy your own company while you're still vetting people. BC says, do you teach the course live? It's not live, but it's 32 videos and 3 essays, and it's very detailed. And every video has like a note attached to it, so you can download the note to go along with the video if you want. But yeah, thanks for asking. Anna B says, OMG, yes, jobs to the, OMG, yes, to the same jobs. Yeah, to the jobs thing, yeah. Anything, any opportunity, anybody trying to date you, anybody trying to become your friend, and they go like fast. They want to hang out the same day. They want to see you the same day, the same week. Red flag. They move very quickly. And you don't want to just accept it just because it's the first thing and you don't want to be alone, you're lonely, or you're just desperate. You don't want that. It's only going to end in tears. Facts. Anybody that has been desperate and settled for the first thing they got, they always regretted it. Okay, Nellie Swan said, yes, this happened. I quit in 3 days. The job paid well, but I just couldn't. I wasn't in the place to do sales. Yeah. 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 Anything trying to get you in fast and quick, red flag. 9 times out of 10 is bad. Same with opportunities, career, people, dating, friends, whatever. It's a red flag. They're trying to move quick so that by the time you figure out there's something wrong with them, it's too late. You're already entangled with them. Okay? So learn to live with delayed but good gratification over immediate gratification. Okay? Also, another point that I made in the video about this point about gratification is that if you prefer immediate gratification over delayed but possibly greater gratification. I can't speak today, y'all. What you will notice is that you tend to live day to day, right? You don't really, not in like the good way, like, oh, live in the present moment, be mindful. That's a good thing. I'm not talking about that. It means that you're not thinking ahead. You're not thinking ahead, meaning if you have a really toxic friend that berates you, doesn't respect you or your time, just always cuts you down or whatever, you're not thinking ahead, because do you really see this girl in your life in 5 years? What would that look like? What would that look like? You really see this girl at your wedding? You see this girl at your baby shower? You see yourself growing old with this girl? Why? She treats you like ish. She does not respect you. Why do you see yourself like you're not thinking ahead? When you only focus on the present with immediate gratification, you're not thinking ahead. Because if you were thinking ahead, you would not still be with this person. You would not still be dating this man. You would not still be friends with this girl. You live in the day to day, in the immediate gratification, immediate present, what you can get today, the energy you can get today. So you won't be alone today. Think ahead. If you think ahead, do you really see this person in your life 5 years from now? Why? She treats you like dirt. He treats you like dirt. Why? Okay, Naomi Moon says, yes, my man wants us to do our relationship properly and not rush. He's so patient, and I'm the opposite. Yeah. So he's good. That's a green flag. He wants to wait. He wants to do it right. Sorry, y'all. That's a huge green flag. He's not rushing you. That's good. A narcissist will want to go hella fast. Okay? And you don't want to go too fast because you have to vet them. So when you want to go really fast, it means that you are not interested in vetting them. And that I'm afraid for you. Because why are you not trying to vet them? What if they're a serial unaliver? You don't know. Why are you trying to rush? See, you have to think about stuff like that. We have to think about stuff like that. Why am I rushing? Why am I so eager to not vet this person? What if they end up hating me? What if they secretly hate me? Like, what do they have? What agenda do they have for me in their life? You have to slow down and vet people. Okay, Anna B says, I am learning so much from this channel. I love it so much. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. You guys, please support the channel. Post it on your social medias. Send it to people you know. We're trying to grow the channel, okay? Okay, Nelly Swan says, I learned this the hard way. Always play the long game. Yes, yes. And I'm not saying like wait 6 months to a year to finally be girlfriend and boyfriend. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you just met somebody and you went on your first date and they want to see you 5 days out of the week and they want to be girlfriend and boyfriend 2 weeks in, that's a red flag. That is a huge red flag. Huge. Okay? Do not be so lonely and want immediate gratification so much that you don't do the work of vetting. Because it's always going to end in tears when you don't do that. Okay? All right. Another point that I also made about this point in the video, I said, in a relationship with a dangerous personality, that day-to-day thinking becomes one of the most dangerous patterns you can have, because it means your opinion of them essentially resets every single day. It does not matter what happened yesterday. It does not matter the pattern that you have witnessed over months or even years. If they are lovely today, if they are warm today, and everything that you needed them to be, then today is who they are to you. Did y'all get that? That means your opinion of this person resets every single day. If they cuss you out last night for no good reason and just berated you, and today they're nice, your opinion of them reset today. Why? Because you want immediate gratification. You don't want to be alone. Your opinion of these people are resetting every single day. That's not good. That's dangerous. If somebody slapped you yesterday and today they're nice to you, and then you take that, your opinion resets every single day. That's not good because you want immediate gratification. That is not good. You're not seeing this person for who they actually are because your opinion of them is resetting every single day. That's dangerous. Okay, Lisa says, when you vet this way, these toxic personality types will flee when they realize you have boundaries. Yes, when you have boundaries and you don't play that, oh, they leave quickly. They might like insult you on the way out, but they leave. They don't waste their time at all. They hate people with boundaries. They will respect you though, but they hate people with boundaries because they can't get what they want from you. They can't take advantage of you. Okay, Ruth says, I love the reset part. So true. Yep. Yep. Anna B says, yes, I always remember good things and forget the bad things they did. Yes. And that's dangerous because you have to log the patterns. Okay. If you forget what they did yesterday because they're nice today, you're not seeing the pattern. You're not seeing the pattern because you want immediate gratification, right? Okay, Ruth says selective memory. Yep. Because you know what they did, but you just choose to not acknowledge it because you want what? Immediate gratification. Okay, Nellie Swan says Maddie from Euphoria. I don't know why everybody loves that character. Ooh, child. All those characters on there are a mess. All of them. All of them. All of them. But she's definitely trauma bonded to Nate. 100%. Or was at least because she eventually left them. So BC says, this reminds me of Zendaya's character in the drama. Yeah. Anna B says, I always think they didn't mean it. I am so gullible, but I am learning. You know what? I don't want to say it's okay to be gullible, but guys, at one point in our lives, we were all gullible. We were all naive until you met enough people to realize like there are some very dangerous people out here. So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up for being gullible. Okay, at one point we all were. I was. I used to be very naive and gullible till I learned, right? So we all have to learn our lesson to learn the message, to protect yourself. Okay, BC says, sorry for the spoilers if y'all didn't see. Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, y'all, if your image of this person resets every single day, that is dangerous. That's dangerous. Okay, you're not seeing this person for who they are. You are operating with selective memory. You know what they did, it didn't get lost in your mind, but you just choose to ignore it because you want immediate gratification. You don't want to be alone. You still want to have a boyfriend. You still want to have a friend. So you just accept it, and it resets every day. Okay, and when you do this, you also tend to not hold them accountable. You don't give them any consequences for their bad behavior. Right? And when you don't give people consequences for their bad behavior, they tend to do it again and again and again because you accept it. Why? Because you want immediate gratification. You don't want to leave. You don't want to be alone. You want what you want now. And it resets every day. That's dangerous, y'all. Okay? All right. And let's also talk about with this immediate gratification thing is um, they know when you are this way with these types of people, they know that you're not leaving anytime soon, right? They know you're not leaving because your desire for immediate gratification it outweighs their bad behavior. It outweighs their bad behavior because you won't let them leave. You won't leave them because you depend on them for whatever you depend on them for. You depend on them to not be lonely or to, I don't know, maybe you use them to regulate yourself. So to not be as anxious or depressed or something. I don't know, whatever you're using them for. But they know whatever it is, it far outweighs their bad behavior. So now they know, okay, this person is like desperate for me. And whatever I do, she does not hold me accountable for it because she needs me. She wants me so bad. She's desperate for me. That's not good. Okay. All right. NX. Oh, I think I'll call you Behave. Okay. Let me know your real name or just the name you want me to call you. So I'm not calling you by your username. But NX says, how do you distinguish between being self-aware with what your intuition says about an off person versus jealousy? Well, I think with jealousy, do you desire anything that the person has? If you don't desire anything that they have, then it's not jealousy. Anna B says, I'm 45 and still gullible. LOL. I think it's because I'm autistic. I think everyone is a nice person like me. Okay. So if you think like this, you need to get my book. You need to get the Bible of Manipulation. That will wake you up quick, very quickly. It will wake you up very quickly. So get the Bible of Manipulation book, okay? And also, I have a playlist on my channel. If you go to my playlist, I have a playlist called Social Strategies. Social Strategies. Watch that. Watch those. Okay, it will show you a lot about how people are. Okay, so watch that playlist and get the Bible of Manipulation book. Let me put the link here. 1 second, y'all. That book will wake you up real quick. You won't have to worry about being gullible anymore. I literally give you everything you need. Let me see if I can paste. Okay. I don't know if I can paste two things at a time, y'all. Can I pin two things at a time? I don't know. But that's the link there. It will wake you up quick. Okay. All right. Nellie Swan says, even though I learned the lessons and have the knowledge and I pick up subtle red flags, but I have this hope that maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm learning to really trust myself. If you pick up the red flags, you are not overthinking. Okay. So again, you're still not trusting yourself. You still have your self-doubt. And when you have self-doubt, you don't trust your intuition. If you are picking up the red flags because you know what to look for, you don't have to, don't overthink it. You know what you know. Okay. All right. Anna B says, yes, I will. And I'm watching your videos as soon as they drop. Yes. Thank you for supporting. But yeah, y'all, if you think you are naive and gullible, you need to get the book. You need to get the Bible of Manipulation book. Okay. That's why I wrote this book. All right. Okay. Let's move on to point number 5. Okay. We're already past an hour. Wow. Okay. Number 5 is your desire. Number 5 is you desire connection but can't seem to access it. And again, I think some people got upset because they think like I'm talking bad about introverts or something. No, not at all. So what this point was about is when you really want social connection, but you can't seem to access it for whatever reason, you are an easy target for predators. Because what these people will do is they can see that you're a little lonely, or maybe you're not even lonely. Maybe you have people around you, right? But you're feeling a little lost, like you're feeling like you don't really have a connection with anyone. Or maybe you're just not as socially skilled, right? So, but you are really desiring that connection. You want friends to do something with. You want a man to do something with. You want that connection. And what these people will do is that they will notice you feeling a little awkward in this social situation, and they will approach you with a lot of love bombing. A lot of love bombing, a lot of attention, praise, admiration. They will give you a lot of their time too, especially in the beginning, okay, to gain your trust. But these people, what they want to do is they want to be they want you to become dependent on them for socializing, okay? They want to have control over you, okay? Okay, Ruth says, you are definitely talking to me with this point. I envy the cool kids and they're socially free. Yeah. Yeah. So when you are really looking for a real connection with people, or you're just not good at socializing, but you really want to, you desire that. Because there are some introverts that don't really care for all of that. Like, they're very cool with not like um being up in everybody's face and doing this and doing that. They're content with just like their small group of friends or just by themselves, and they just do like, low key stuff. But there are some people that really desire a friend group, or just they want to do things with friends or whatever, but they can't seem to access it for whatever reason. Maybe just the circumstances that you have at the time does not afford you the time or just the ease to make friends. Okay, so then you feel a little like left out. You feel like life is passing you by, right? And then these personality types, they can pick up on that. They can pick up of the desire for connection. Okay. Okay, Nellie Swan says, and predators get attached to their victims as well, and they hate it. Yes, predators do get attached to their victims because they feel like you are their possession. They feel like they own you, like you are property, right? That's why sometimes you cut off a toxic person and like they never stop stalking you, and they keep coming back, hitting you up again, or trying to follow you on social media again, or trying asking people about you because they feel like they own you. They feel like you are their property. Okay. Ruth says, like you said in your video, I felt like I missed the social cues handbook at birth. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, there's a book about like socializing and social anxiety and stuff. It's called How to Be Yourself. I forgot the author's name, but it's a good book for socializing or getting over like social anxiety or something like that. Um, but yeah, basically predators pick up on this really quickly, and then what they want to do is they want to insert themselves as your social like person, as like they want to become like your god. They want to have control over you. And at first, they might like give you a lot of attention, but quickly, once they feel like they got you to really like them and depend on them, they're gonna start taking control and become very controlling and aggressive of you. And they wouldn't want you to have any other friends outside of them. They wouldn't want you to know anything outside of them. Like they want to be your god. They want to be your god. Okay. So watch out for these types of people, and there are solutions to this. Okay. Like I said, example is the book, How to Be Yourself. It helps you with socializing skills. Watch my videos about social strategies. Um, Learn to heal your anxiety. I have the course. My course will help you with that. So there's a lot of ways to overcome all of this. Okay. To not make yourself as prey. Okay. Uh, Dark Panthera, hi, welcome to the live. She says, to clarify, are you saying that anybody who appreciates you to say hello in a social function is trying to manipulate you? I'm an introvert. I challenge myself to greet people and not be a wallflower. Approach is correction. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. No, that's not what I'm saying. That will make you paranoid. No, I'm not saying everybody that comes up to you to introduce themselves is a predator. Please, that is not true at all. I'm saying when you're a person who is trying to get like a social life or like friends, and like for some reason you can't do it, and let's say a predator type personality is around and they see how much you're struggling, right, to connect with somebody, and they see that maybe you seem a little awkward, or like you talk to somebody but it doesn't go anywhere, and like you're just standing around being awkward or whatever, they pick up on stuff like that. So a good solution to this is to learn how to socialize, learn social cues, learn why people do certain things, and I teach how to do that. on my page, in my social strategies playlist. Okay. Selma says, a few years ago, I started to crave connection. I tried to make new girlfriends, and they all ended up secretly hating me and wishing me bad behind my back. Lesson learned with your help, Bella. I'm so sorry that happened. Yeah, and also when you have trouble connecting, sometimes you can also be too tolerant of bad behavior because you're desperately trying to connect. You want friends to do stuff with, so then it also makes it easier for you to attract these dangerous people because they know they can get away with um, treating you terribly because you fear being alone and not having connection more than having self-respect, right? Okay. Dark Panther says, "Thank you for clarifying. No problem. Thanks for asking the question because I didn't want to make that mistake. Not everybody that comes up to you to talk to you is a predator. Okay, you guys, that's not true. Okay. All right. Let me see here. I think we're doing good on time. Let's go to number 6. It's lack of boundaries. This is the one you guys have been waiting for. Okay. So I've already talked about lack of boundaries a couple of times already on this channel. Just about, learn to stand up for yourself, not, knowing where your boundaries should be and all of that stuff. So I did not want to touch on it again in this video. What I wanted to talk about the lack of boundaries part about this video is that because you may not have strong boundaries, or because you may not even know that certain things should be boundaries, you may not know that you might be crossing other people's boundaries. And why is this attractive to predators? Because they can tell that you're not socially aware. So for example, let's say you don't have boundaries about like your personal information, right? When you first meet people, you just start trauma dumping or telling them your really personal secrets, personal business or whatever. You don't really care. You don't realize that it should be a boundary. And then you go ahead and start asking people about their personal information, like things that you should not be asking, right? A predator type personality can take notice of this because they know that you are not socially aware. And if you're not socially aware, they know you're not going to pick up on the fact that there is something wrong with them. Am I right? Also, when you're not socially aware and you don't have the boundaries to understand this stuff, they know eventually, like, people start distancing themselves from you because you don't realize certain things should be boundaries. You don't realize that, so they'll just rather just distance themselves from you, right? And when they distance themselves, guess who is going to pick up the fact that you don't understand what you're doing wrong and you're not socially aware? A predator. They're gonna come in and swoop you up because they know they can have easy control because you don't understand what's wrong. You don't understand what you're doing wrong. You don't understand social rules, social boundaries. And if you don't understand, there's a high chance that you can't tell when somebody's a predator. They know that. Oftentimes, when you lack boundaries, you tend to become isolated because you don't understand that people do not want to discuss certain things, or certain things should be boundaries. So like they'll just rather not deal with you at all, right? And then when people don't want to deal with you at all, who's going to be? You're going to be alone. And when you're isolated, predators love that. They love isolated people. It makes their jobs easier. Okay. Okay, Anna B says, I am like this. Unfortunately, I didn't understand what was wrong till recently. It's okay. We live and we learn, right? You're learning now. So it's okay. It's okay, y'all. We live and we learn. But that's the thing. It's like you don't understand that certain things should not be said, certain things should not be done. So the example that I gave in the video, I said, let's say you are new, not new at a job, but at your job, right? Let's say your manager comes in, they give, like, he or she gives a rule, a new rule for y'all, for the job. And everybody knows this rule is so stupid. Like, it's not gonna work, duh, right? But you will notice that nobody says anything. Maybe they just give each other looks and just go back to their work, right? But you decide to say something. Maybe you say, "Oh, this is so stupid. Can't she tell that, like, this is not gonna work? She's so dumb. Why is she like this? Why would she do that?" You don't understand they didn't say anything because there's certain boundaries. You're not socially aware, right? You're not socially aware. And when you're not socially aware, you isolate yourself, unfortunately. And when you isolate yourself, a predator knows that you will be easy to control because you're not socially aware. You don't understand that they're dangerous. Am I right, y'all? Am I right? When you lack boundaries, you don't understand that certain things should be boundaries. And when you don't understand that certain things should be boundaries, you tend to end up isolating yourself because people don't want to deal with you because you don't understand that certain things should be boundaries. And when you're not socially aware, predators love people like you. Okay? Anna B says how to respond if someone is asking lots of personal questions. And then when I say I don't want to talk about it, they keep pushing and pushing. If they keep pushing and pushing, that's your red flag. Okay, healthy people, if you tell them, hey, I'm not comfortable discussing this, if they're healthy, they will stop. If they're not healthy, they're going to be persistent. Okay, and that's your red flag. I talk about persistence in the Bible of manipulation. Okay, you guys get the book, it's going to help you. I wrote it for people that need it. Okay, get the book, it tells you about all these things. It tells you about all these things. When somebody's very persistent, even after you set a boundary, that's a red flag. Dangerous people are very persistent. They don't respect boundaries. And at that point you need to exit. Okay? I'm going to put the link in here again. All right. Nelly Swan said yes. Yeah. Okay. Lisa says some of this burden unfortunately lies in the way we were parented. A lot of parents send their kids unknowingly out into the world with zero skills, so you spend time trying to play catch up. Yes, and that's really sad. It really, really, really is sad. A lot of times, if you grew up with a narcissistic parent or just a dangerous personality raised you, they kind of prep you for other dangerous people outside the home. It's really sick. It's really sad, because they make you the perfect prey for people like them. But that's why I created the No One Cares course so that you can heal and learn and don't have to become like that. Okay. Okay. Anna B says guilty as charged. Yeah. Okay. Ruth says so politics, religion off limits at first encounter. Yes. Like when you first meet people, they don't want to talk about really taboo political things. It's like, girl, like calm down. Like we're just at drinks. I just got to know, like I'm just meeting you for the first time or first couple of times. Like I don't want to talk about that. That's weird. Okay. And when I say religion, like it's okay to say like, oh yeah, I'm Christian. Oh yeah, I'm Muslim. When I say religion, I mean like trying to argue people down about their religion. Like you guys can tell, I don't push my religion down on anybody's throat unless somebody like asks me a question, then I answer it. But like, I'm not going to tell you, hey, your religion is wrong. Hey, your belief is wrong, or you're going to hell, or whatever. That's what I mean by religion. Okay. Nellie Swan says some predators overshare to make people comfortable to open up. Yes, this is called information phishing. I talk about it in the Bible of Manipulation book. Link is posted in the chat. But this is information phishing. I talk about it in the book. They try to get you to share. Sometimes it's like fake. It's fake information. Like they make up some traumatic story and then try to see if you have some traumatic stories. It's really sick. Annaby says, yes, parents sets us up for failure. Yeah, unfortunately, they make you the perfect prey for people just like them. Because that's how they groomed you. They groomed you to please them. They groomed you to meet their needs. And when you go out in the world, that's all you know is to just meet these people's needs. Right? All right, Dark Panther says abusive parents are our first predators, priming you not to be strong to face this world is a mortal sin. Yes, yes. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. And then you have to like take time to unlearn everything that they taught you about yourself and about people. Yeah, yeah. Nellie Swan said, yes, I have bought it right now. Ooh, thank you. Thank you so much. You guys, the book will help you. It will help you 100%. This is not like a BS book that I created. This is like to actually help people. Okay. All right. So moving on to number 7, complaining. You complain a lot. Okay. If you complain a lot, I can guarantee that you have attracted some very dangerous people into your life. Okay. So let's talk about it. Let me look at my notes real quick. Okay. So complaining is not, I know I understand as humans, sometimes you just want to vent. Okay. You might have like a moment of vulnerability. That's okay. It's human. We're all human, right? It happens. But if you are a chronic complainer, the message that you are sending out about yourself to people is that you can't solve your own problems. And when you can't solve your own problems, you know who will like to solve it for you? A dangerous person. Okay. So let's say like somebody did something to you. Somebody insulted you or something, right? And you never check the person, but you go around telling everybody else what they did to you. You just keep talking about it, but you never say what you did back at the person. Like you never say, yeah, I checked her, or yeah, I did this. You just keep talking about it. Let's say your boss did not give you a raise, right, that you were expecting. And instead of getting your resume together to get ready to apply for other jobs, you just start complaining, start talking to people about it. You just keep venting and talking about it, right? Let's say somebody slighted you in a certain way. You didn't say anything to them, but you went to complain and vent about it to everybody, right? So the message that you're sending out that you're not realizing is that you can't solve your own problems. And a toxic personality will love to solve your problems for you, right? Because you're not realizing it, but you're sending the message that you need a hero. You need a hero. And these dangerous people, especially if they're a narcissist, they love to play God. I told you guys, they love to play God in people's lives. They love to have control, be authoritarian, and they will love to be needed. And if you're a chronic complainer, you will need them, right? And also, these types of people, they know if you chronically complain, but you don't do anything about it, they know if they get into a relationship with you, you might complain, but you're not gonna what? You're not gonna leave. You're not gonna leave. You will complain, but you're not gonna leave. Right? They pick up on these things, guys. They pick up on them. They know how to select a prey. If you keep complaining that people keep doing this to you, people keep doing that to you, and you never confront the people, or you never try to find an outlet, you never try to find or make up solutions, they know that, oh, this person, they are long suffering, meaning that I could do whatever to them and they're not going to leave. They're going to complain, but they're not going to leave. And they're not going to address me. And they're not going to hold me accountable. But they'll complain, but they're not going to leave, right? So you could be in a relationship with an abusive man for 5 years, 10 years. You can complain to your girlfriends about it, but guess what? You're not going to leave. You are the perfect prey. You are the perfect prey. Okay? You don't understand the certain things that gives off these signals. You complain about everybody all the time, but you never address it. You never find solutions. If that boss does not give you a raise, get your resume together. Get a resume review. Start applying. That's a solution. If somebody insulted you, you could have set a boundary, but you didn't. Or you could have, maybe this is at work, you could have went to HR, but you didn't. But you're complaining about it. They pick up on these things. You are long suffering, and you will hang in there, and you will tolerate them. You will complain, but you're not going to leave. You're not going to come up with a solution, right? Okay, Nellie Swan said, and even if you step and grow, they still won't stand that. Yeah, like when somebody has become accustomed to how you are, maybe you didn't have any boundaries before, or like you just stayed and didn't like acknowledge it. Once you start to grow, they're going to really throw tantrums because they've gotten so used to you allowing them to walk all over you and not leaving, right? So if you complain a lot, you are very susceptible to these predators. If you just want to vent, you guys know what I'm going to tell you. Get a journal. Get a journal. Write in a journal. Okay? Write in a journal. You know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in the trauma dump journal in the chat. Write in there instead of complaining. Okay? Once in a while, yes. Do you just have something to get off your chest and talk to your sister or talk to your best friend or whatever? Yes, you're human. But if you're a chronic complainer, you're making yourself susceptible to dangerous personalities. They're picking up on these things. Okay? They pick up on them. Also, when you're a chronic complainer, you're sending the message that that you need a savior, right? You can't solve your own problems, so you need a savior. And who loves to play savior, guys? A predator. They love to be needed. They love to be in control. Okay? So let's say you met a man, right? And maybe it's like a colleague or something. And you keep telling him about your boyfriend doesn't do this, your boyfriend is abusive, your boyfriend is controlling, but you're not leaving him. It's been 5 years, you're not leaving him. You just keep talking about it. And you don't realize this colleague that you're talking to is a predator. So you know what the predator is going to do? They know you are the perfect target. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to save you from your abusive boyfriend. And you think, wow, this person loves me. They're saving me. They're helping me. Right? And then you get in a relationship with him. And he's worse. He's worse. When you don't try to find solutions to your problems, or you're just a chronic complainer, you're sending the message that you need somebody to save you. And people that love to play savior tend to be very toxic personalities. They want to play God in your life. Okay? So, please, 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 you guys, Yes, it's normal to like vent once in a while. We're all human, but don't become a chronic complainer. Also, when you're a chronic complainer, you're under the impression that people care that much. People don't care that much, y'all. Like, this is not me trying to be like mean or anything. It's just the truth. People don't care that much. People care about their own problems. Like I said, no one cares. Okay. So it might be gossip for somebody at like lunch break, but they don't care that much. Okay. So chronic complainers, you are susceptible to a dangerous personality. Did I clock your T? Let me know in the chat before we move on. Okay. Number 8, I'm gonna speed through the rest of these because we're like 25 minutes for 2 hours. Let me see. Okay. Number 8 is limerence. Okay, so if you don't know what limerence is an involuntary, obsessive, all-consuming state of romantic infatuation. So you have a lot of fantasies about people, right? Let's say you started dating a guy, started talking to a guy, right? Not even dating. Let's say you just started talking to a guy. You don't really know much about him, right? Y'all are still getting to know each other. But in your head, you have already made up what your wedding will look like, what your kids' names will be, how many kids you have. You're just filling in the gaps. You're creating fantasies. Okay. Why is this a signal to predator type personalities? Is that you don't tend to live in reality. You don't tend to see people for who they are, but for the version that you've made of them in your head. Okay. Because this person could be a complete a-hole, but you made up in your mind that, oh, he's so cute, he's so hot. Oh, like we're gonna get together, we're gonna get married. I wonder what he's doing now. Oh, if we went this place, like it'll be so nice, and like he'll do this to me and he'll do that to me, and we'll be in love forever. And you started talking to him 3 days ago. You're making up fantasies about him. You're filling in the gaps of who you think they are. A lot of times, predators are not that brilliant. We create our own facade of them. Like we create our own fantasies of who we want them to be in our life. And once you like let them go, finally you start to realize like, oh, this person was not even all that. What was I doing with them? Oh my God. Yeah, because you did not you see them for who they are. You made up fantasies about who they are and what they're going to be in your life, not who they actually are. You dig? So if you fantasize a lot about people, especially people you just met, you don't know that well, and you set up these images in your head about them and you overly become excited about them and you start making up things, you are prone to predators. You are very prone to predators because they don't even have to be the greatest guy, but you will make up the fact that they're the greatest guy in your head. You don't see it. You're just looking at the fantasy version of them. Okay, Ruth says, my delusions have definitely put me in bad relationships. Yeah, because you fill in the gaps with your own fantasies, not who they actually are. You just keep thinking of what you want them to be, what your life is going to look like together. Like, it's just all fantasies. It's not reality. Actually, look at people in reality. Okay? And Ruth says, talking about having kids on the first date. Yeah, yeah. Also, if you have a lot of like, if you are prone to limerence, it means that you need to get busier. You need to pick up a hobby, go outside more, try to hang out with your friends more, do like meaningful things in your life. Get busier. Get busier because that means you have too much time to think and make up fantasies. You have too much time on your hands. Okay. Get busier. It's a great solution. All right. Let's move on to number 9. You display loyalty to people you barely know. Woo! This one. I put this one in because there's also lashings for me. I used to do this. I used to be way too loyal to people that I barely even know. Like barely even know. I barely even know them, and I'm so loyal to them. That's like, you don't even know this girl, you don't even know this guy. Like, what? But basically, you start feeling responsible for people. You feel responsible for people way too easily. Okay, so let's say you just met somebody new, a friend, or well, you call them a friend, but you just met her, right? And y'all talk for like 10, 15 minutes. Okay. Now you feel a sense of loyalty to them. So when they start some ish with somebody, you feel the need to be on their side because you talk to them for 10 to 15 minutes. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Nellie Swan said, I used to support horrible women in the name of feminism. Me too. Me too. Like you just feel a sense of loyalty to people that you barely even know, right? Or you feel responsible for them. And like I said before, the thing that used to get me is like if somebody says they have anxiety, and I'll be like, oh well, I have to go with her. She asked me to go with her. Like she has anxiety, maybe I should help her. And like like, and it's like, girl, you just met her like 30 minutes ago, or we just met her yesterday. You're not responsible for her emotional regulation issues, like, but you just feel a sense of loyalty and responsibility for people. So that makes you very dangerous to a predator. I mean, not dangerous, it makes you very susceptible to a predator because they're going to use that loyalty. They're going to use that loyalty because you're going to stay. They're going to use you up. Okay. Aphrodite disciple, hey, welcome to the chat. She said, hello. Yep. Yep. I used to just feel so loyal to people that I don't even know. Like, girl, what were you doing? You don't even know them. So if you feel a sense of loyalty to people you barely know, that's not good for you. You need to have boundaries. You need to have boundaries for yourself. Okay? That's not their problem is not your problem. You don't know them. Okay? Lisa says, guilty of this. We obviously have all lived the same life. Yes. Yes, you guys. You do not have to be loyal to people you barely know. You don't. You don't have to make their problems your problems. You don't know them. Okay? You don't know them. You don't have to be loyal to people you don't know. Ruth says in the club bathrooms meeting random girls. I mean, I feel like that situation's a little different because you do have to like protect girls from like creeps in like the club, you know? But I feel like everything else is like no. Okay, Dark Panther says met a lady at the library and we decided to be library buddies. Sporadic meetups to do our own things in the library. I've let her know my new job means I can't meet up as often. Yeah. 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 Like I just feel like I just felt like I had to just like, oh, but I have to be there for her. She's this and like she's that. And it's like, girl, y'all talk for 15 minutes. Like, like, girl, what? You don't know her? What if she's crazy? you know? So that makes you susceptible to dangerous personalities. Aphrodite said, if you're quiet, mysterious, and introverted, you will attract monitoring spirits. Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you're also very attractive. Yeah. Okay. So number 10 is you put others' needs above your own. This one too, y'all. You put people's needs above your own. Predators love people like you because you always put them first before yourself. And they love that. They're selfish. It's all about them. And you will allow it to be all about them. It will never be about you. And you're okay with that. You will always put your needs above your own. And they love that. But even if it's not in that sense, you put other people's well being over your own. Like, for example, the example that I gave in the video, like, let's say you go meet up with a girl, right? You're still getting to know each other. And she says she asks you to come with her to, I don't know, an event or something. And y'all go together and she's like, she asks you to come, right? Right? Come with her. But she's like acting like she doesn't even want you there, or like you're not important. Like she just, like some people, sometimes people use you as just company. Like they just don't want to go alone, but they don't actually care about you, right? So instead of you taking that hint and being like, yeah, I'm out of here, I have self-respect, you still stay. You put your needs above your own because you just feel like you can't be like, if you leave, that like that's mean. Like you leave them there, but it's like they're not treating you right though. They're treating you like they don't even care if you're here or not. They just needed you to be a body in the room so that they're not alone. But you stay because you put your needs above what? Above your own, right? You don't want to be seen as stuck up or mean for putting yourself first, so you put others' needs above your own. And this one was also a huge one for me because this used to be me. Before I had really good boundaries, I used to just put other people's needs above my own. And I learned my lesson from that, right? So if you put other people's needs above your own, predators love you because you will allow them to be selfish. You will allow them to be selfish. They can never give you anything in a relationship and you still stay because you put their needs above your own. You put your needs in the back burner. All right, Samma says, this was such a hard habit for me to break. I still mess up occasionally and put others before myself. And they never appreciate or notice. Not worth it. Yeah. The more you put other people's needs above your own, the more they feel like that's your job. Like the more they stop looking at you as like a human, an autonomous being that has needs too, and they start seeing you as like a resource. They start seeing you as like their servant. You just exist to just serve them and their needs. So sometimes, like when you assert your boundaries or when you like put your own needs first, they might even look shocked. Like they might look like, what the hell? Like, where are you going? That's not the dynamic here. It's supposed to be all about me. How dare you have needs and put your needs above my own? They become shocked. Yeah, like they think of you as their servant. They think of you as their servant. So when don't spoil people too much, y'all. Don't spoil people too much. They will literally think that you exist to serve them. And they will be shocked and act betrayed when you finally put yourself first. Because like, how dare you? How dare you have needs and have a life outside of me? How dare your life not revolve around me? They actually act very shocked because they are shocked because that's not the dynamic. You've always put their needs above your own. So what's different now? Right? What's different now? Why all of a sudden you got a life and you got needs and you got goals, and that's not what this dynamic is. You're just supposed to serve me. Okay, Lisa says, had a friend a while back who I cut off when I set boundaries. Okay, I had a friend a while back who I cut off when I set boundaries. She said, "Oh, I don't feel like we're close anymore. No, I just don't act like your servant anymore." Yes, you guys, some people have different reasons why they come into your life. Okay, we tend to think that, and I think this is like from programming as a child, like when you're like in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, we're taught that if somebody wants to talk to you or play with you or whatever, it's because they want to be friends with you. So we just stick with that mentality for like even into adulthood. But that's not always true. Just because somebody wants to have access to you does not mean they actually want to be your friend and have a general relationship. Sometimes people come with different agendas. Sometimes they just want to use you. And if you put others' needs above your own, you will be easy to use. And they're only in that relationship to use you. That's all. They don't even see you as a human. You're just like a dispenser of whatever they want. They don't see you as human, as your own being with your own needs. You're supposed to just exist for them. Okay? Nellie Swan said moms go through this a lot. Yeah, I can imagine. Ruth said mothers feel that they have complete control over their kids. Depends sometimes. Depends on the person. But you guys, when you put other people's needs over your own, they become entitled. They start acting um like that's your job, like you're their servants. Like they start acting like you should only exist for them. And then they act betrayed when you will no longer put them before you. Because what is this dynamic? That's not how this is supposed to go. Okay, Nala. Oh, your name is Nala. Okay, hi Nala. Thanks for letting me know your name. Okay. She says, "What you are saying is so true because the moment I put myself first, it's not crickets. It's time to start over the right way." Yes, the moment I set boundaries with this girl, she got so angry and threw a tantrum, and she was like, "I never liked you. I was just using you." So she was just using me the whole time, right? So there's different reasons why different people come into your life. Okay, when you stop saying yes and letting them get away with everything, they become very angry because they've gotten spoiled. You spoiled them by putting them above you. Okay, Lisa says, I used to pride myself on title good friend. When people know this, they will run all over you. Yes. And it's crazy because it's like, it's hurtful because it's like, damn, like when you're a good person, people just see you as a resource. Like they just see you as somebody to use, like not even like a human. It makes you not want to be a good person at all. And just be as selfish as them because it's like, damn, like there's no benefit to being a good person. Y'all just want to keep using me. Like they don't even see you as a person. It's sad. It's so sad. Like the minute people see that you're a kind person or a good person, like they start thinking like, oh, she will be useful to me. Okay, what can I get out of her? Can she help me with this? Like that's all they're thinking about. They don't even see you as a person. It's sad. It's sick. Okay, Anna Mauricia, thanks for joining the live. She says they dry begging for money. Yeah, yeah, always begging you for something because they know you give it because you always put their needs above your own. All right, Nella says the moment you stop being useful, the moment you get dropped, that's the moment you get dropped, whether that be friendship, jobs, or relationship. Yes, because they just want to drain you. They just want to keep using you for their own benefit without ever giving anything in return. And that's the thing with these types of people is that they never give back. They almost never give back. Like they don't even think to give back to you at all because you're not even a person in their mind. You're not even a person in their mind. They will never give to you. And you know what? These same types of people, although they won't give to you and they keep sucking you dry, they will give to somebody else who doesn't do all of that for them. Isn't that crazy? Because they don't respect you as a person. They just view you as like their servant, their maid. You just exist to serve them. So if you are this person, you guys, you are very susceptible to dangerous personalities. Okay. Okay, you guys, we have 5 minutes left. So that was the end of the video. Since we have 5 minutes left, whatever quick questions y'all want to talk about, I can answer them because I'm going to end this live in 5 minutes. Ruth says, I think about switching sides every day. Being kind is hard. Yeah. It makes you want to be like evil and selfish and just use people too. It's sick. Lisa says they take and take and take until you cut it off. Yeah, they'll just keep drinking. As long as you keep giving and never saying no, they'll just keep taking. Like you're just a resource to them. Ruth says, right. Yeah. Anna says they want to stay with their poor baby daddy who doesn't provide them. Sorry. That caught me off guard. They said they want to stay with their poor baby daddy who doesn't provide for them, but expect financial help from pretty hardworking friends. Yeah, they're just using you, but they'll keep giving to that baby daddy that does not care about them at all, that doesn't give them anything. Lisa says they will go out of their way for people who treat them like trash. Yes, 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 yes. So they know they can give. They know a relationship has to be two ways. They just don't feel like they have to give it to you. You are just your servant. Okay. Can Chan says, for real, their soul. Hi, Can Chan. It's good to see you on the live. She says, for real, they're so filled with their own motives that they don't realize you're creating unequal karma with somebody around them. Yeah. Yeah, they're just selfish. And when you keep spoiling them and never saying no, they really believe like that is your job. Like that you are supposed to just keep giving to them. Like you're not a person, you're just like a dispenser. That's all you are to them. That's all you are to them, unfortunately. I know it's sad to hear, but it's true. It is true, y'all. Okay, you guys, I'm going to plug the rest of my resources here. So you guys check out everything. Check out the course. Check out. Oh, I can't post it on here. Crap. Okay. Let me see if I can. Oh, I can. I can't do that. All right. Check out the book, check out the course, check out the Glow Getter Guide, the Bible of Manipulation, the Trauma Dump Journals. If you want a one-on-one session, you can book it on the link tree. Let me just plug in my link tree. How about that? That will be a lot easier. It has everything, okay? Check out the link tree. Also, you guys, I do have a Patreon. If you want notes to all of my videos, the notes, the scripts, I have it all available on Patreon. The Patreon shop too. If you don't want to join the Patreon, you can go on the Patreon shop. Let me post that here to y'all so you have it. Okay. Anna says how to show people from the beginning that they should keep distance and not expect so much. Tired of being the container for their emotions. Okay. From the beginning, don't be way too smiley. Okay. Don't be way too like giggly, smiley. Like be contained. Like be like resting, but like still open. Right. And if somebody try you, you need to set a boundary immediately. And then once you set a boundary, walk away. Don't stay, walk away. Okay? Well, if you set a boundary, walk away. Don't stay. When you walk away, it really sends a message to people like, oh, she's not going to sit there and let me like disrespect her. Okay? So your resting face, your use your resting face. And if somebody tries you or say or cross your boundary, you say something immediately. Even if it's in a group of people, say something immediately and then walk away. Make sure you walk away. There's something about walking away that really gets the message across. Okay. All right. Dark Panther says, I took her to ask all expense paid trip. Okay. I took her to an all expense paid trip, a work trip, and paid her $2,000 from a funding I won as part of the job. Found out she had her birthday party and didn't invite me. 10-year friendship down the drain. Yeah, people are selfish like that. Sometimes they just have people they use. The people they use, they don't regard as like important. So don't let people use you. When you let people use you, they don't view you as important. Unfortunately, I know it's sad, but that's the facts. Okay. All right, you guys. It's been a great live. I don't see any more chats. It's been a great live. Thanks for supporting the channel. Check out all the books. Check out the course. It's really going to help you, especially if you fit the bill for any of these things that I mentioned in this video and this live. Okay. If you fit the bill, check out the course. If you have any of the books, email me. I'll give you a discount on the course. Okay. So thank you guys so much. All right, Stamba says, I just want to say thank you. Your videos changed my life, and finding you helped save me from all the vampires in my life. I don't know if I could have overcome without your videos. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I want to thank you so much. That's so sweet. Dark Panther says, thank you for this chat. Yes, thank you guys so much, y'all. Thank you for all the love, the support. I do not take it for granted. Good night, everyone. Yes, I will save the live. Okay, I save every live, so I'm going to save it. All right.